I call this my circus chair because it makes me feel a bit like a clown. Hi guys, Annette here. So today I'm going to be showing you guys my home studio. So ever since I became an independent creative, I always wanted my very own working studio space, and I'm so glad that I've been able to do that with my new home. And I thought I'll just share with you guys how I stay inspired over here. So without further ado, let's begin with my table. This is actually a piece of marble, right, that we cut off from the marble that we used in our kitchen. And my ID just thought that it would be nice to have it here for my table as well. It's a really nice big space. And we attached it to this Singer sewing machine leg that we got from Gammar. I like that it gives it this really vintage vibe. And if you are wondering why there's nothing on my table other than this laptop, sometimes before I do shoots and stuff, I have the hair and makeup artist come. And because this place is completely empty, what they'll do is that they just lay out all their makeup and like hair equipment. Either that, or sometimes if I need to prepare for a shoot, let's say I need to prepare like 3 costumes, I will actually sort whatever I need to out here. So this is a very useful table when it's kept empty. This is actually a jewelry like ring holder, but somehow I discovered that it can actually be used to hold all my wires. So in the beginning when I first moved in here, then I had my laptop wire out here, right? And then it would just keep slipping back down. And then I had this ring holder that I was no longer using. So I just coiled the wire around its legs, and now I have repurposed this ring holder into a wire holder coiler thing. What is the name for it? I don't know. There's a name for the wire coiler holder thing. I will go and Google it. It's little things like this that remind me to be creative in everything that I do. That, you know, you don't have to look at a ring holder and see it as a ring holder. It could be something else. So I'm gonna pick these up. So these are actually some drawings that I did when I was younger. I used to draw a lot, guys. I don't do that anymore. I make videos now. I probably draw very badly these days. Okay, so I have this clear tissue box that was from Drunk Elephant, and I didn't really like how the tissues were exposed actually. And so there was this period where Wes was very into stickers, and so I took out all the stickers that I had, and then I sat down with him and we just pasted stickers all over this. And now I have a custom tissue holder that you cannot buy anywhere else. My favorite sticker here actually is this boba llama thing. It was given to me actually by a fan. This is a drawing that my friend gave to me. She got it commissioned, I guess. It's an intentionally ugly drawing, and I see it and it's just so funny. I find it hilarious. Ralph doesn't think it's funny. He's like, why is it so ugly? But I'm like, that is the point. And now over here is my collection of ceramics. This is a dog recorder that Ralph got for me from Taiwan, and literally the week he gave it to me, this was, I don't know, 10 years ago, I dropped it on the floor and I was so sad. Can you see? There are cracks everywhere, and then I was just crying and I was like placing it back together with super glue. But you should be able to blow into it and it'll make sound. Should I try? I haven't done this in ages. Oh my goodness. I need to make sure there's no like insects in there. Okay, I'm safe. Let me try. I made this in a ceramics class back in NTU. In here, I don't know, I just kept some felt stuff that I sewed when I was younger. So I also made this one in my pottery class. Also not great, but it's okay, it's functional at least, and I use it to keep all my pens and my stationery. This is a little tray where I have a journal and some pens that sometimes I grab and then I go out with it if I want to journal somewhere. And now let's talk about my books. So honestly, I don't have that many books. A number of them are either given to me or from my childhood. All my Roald Dahl books are actually from childhood, because nowadays I just read ebooks every now and then. But there are some books where I don't even read the ebook version of, or they don't have the ebook version of. And a lot of them are creative processing kind of books where there's actually images in them, but it's so great to hold in your hand also because I like how it's so tactile. I love Austin Kleon books. I am about to start reading this. Parasite is probably one of my favorite movies, and I bought Bong Joon-ho's storyboard. So yeah, usually the books that I end up buying are the ones that have pictures in it. I know it makes me sound like a child, but it's very, very helpful for me in keeping me inspired. Okay, now I'm gonna let you guys see my drawers. This is sort of a stationery drawer. I have all my extra pens and pen refills over here. Got some notebooks as well, some sewing stuff, bunch of tape, cue cards, and this drawer is a bit of an admin drawer. Some files over here. I'm emceeing my friend's wedding next week. Korean notes when I was studying Korean. And over here, it's extra gift boxes, stickers, nothing much really. This drawer is a mess, so I'm not opening it. It's like gifts or just stuff that I don't know where to put. And then so I put it here. So over here, I have some home slippers just in case it's one of those days where I feel like I need to wear home slippers. A mic stand, all my other recording stuff is in here. Music recording stuff. Ugh. I actually don't sit here as much. Like I told you, I only sit here if I'm getting like my makeup done or if I'm sorting stuff out. I will also sit here sometimes if I'm doing language classes over Zoom, and then I'll have my books out here so that I can write and everything. But if I'm just working on my laptop, sometimes what I'll do actually is I'll take my laptop and I'll sit here on my chair. It's from B&B Italia. I call this my circus chair because it has that circus vibe. And I guess it makes me feel a bit like a clown. If I'm sitting here, I need like some kind of cushion, right? So I'll just be grabbing Ryan Gosling and just be typing here. So if I want my legs up, then I just grab my ball and I put it here. So this chair is clearly my favorite thing in this entire studio. So this is a bit of like my film inspiration wall. These are actually artworks that I got on Etsy. It's stylized versions of random movie scenes. I chose these 4 posters because they represent 4 kind of styles of my favorite movies. The top left is actually a scene from Train to Busan, my favorite zombie movie. It's really heartfelt and kind of like a subversion of a genre, which is something that I find very refreshing. And over here, we have a scene from Chongqing Express, Wong Kar-wai. And then over here, we have a scene from Clueless. Would I call it a guilty pleasure? I don't know. I'm not gonna call it a guilty pleasure. It is acceptable to like chick flicks. I love my Mean Girls, and I don't know if this is a chick flick, but growing up I watched a lot of Parent Trap. I think a lot of these feel-good movies are really something that I want to bring out in my work. And this is from one of my favorite movies ever, Before Sunrise. Recently, I watched Past Lives and it reminded me so much of Before Sunrise, and I hadn't seen anything that reminded me of this film in forever, so it was very, I would say, nostalgic. And below here we have Ryan Gosling as Ken. My interior designer had a stroke probably when she saw that I bought this. But yeah, it just makes me laugh. Ryan Gosling is one of my favorite actors ever, and he can go really serious and he can go really funny, right? And that for me is very inspiring as I kind of pursue acting, right? This is a standard that I want to adhere myself to. And then I just wanted to talk about my coaster over here. Do you know what this is? If you don't know, you're too young. Get out. This is a floppy disk. It could hold, back in my day in primary school, a singular Word doc. I have a second cushion here, but it's just hidden in the corner over here. Oh, you know what else is hidden? My dustbin. I have a little dustbin here. Ralph has this thing where he hates bins being in sight, so I have to hide it in this corner. Now let's talk about this wall. So this is a bit of an idea wall. I haven't completely set it up, but I meant for it to be a space where, you know, it could be constantly changing. Nothing is permanent. A bit of like a brainstorming space for me, I would say. So right now, I have some images that I put up. This was actually given to me by a fan. It's a postcard, but I could never bear to use it. Edward Hopper, my favorite painter. I got this in a museum in Germany, I think. Sorry, this keeps sliding. I tell you, I got these magnets and they suck. So if anyone has magnet recommendations, can you please tell me? I have actually a few things, right, put up on the walls back in my previous childhood home that I never brought over to my matrimonial home, which is the previous home that I stayed in. I couldn't paste them on the walls because Ralph has this thing about not liking mess. And so my ID came up with this amazing idea of having this board where, yeah, I could remove it if I wanted to and just shift things around. And I also actually paste some notes over here of certain thoughts or revelations that I have at the moment that I kind of want to meditate on. And if you recall this This was in my previous home, and recently as I was putting everything up, I was re-pondering over it and I found this quote and I realized, oh, I guess that's also one of the other reasons why I really like this painting, because in order for us to really question like what are we here on earth for, we have to realize how insignificant we are. We're really just a tiny speck in a tiny speck in a tiny speck, and there has to be something greater for us to live for. If not, what is the point, you know? And so I wanted to put this here for the sake of just this video that we're doing. And I also have a marker here that is for me to, maybe if I ever need to brainstorm, I can just write here. So this is something that I actually would do in the past also in my previous home. I would paste post-its on the wall, really. And then I would also write them down on my phone so that when this word is no longer in season, I take it away. And then I will still have it in an archive on my phone. And like I mentioned, right, Ralph has this thing about cleanliness and mess. So if there are guests coming in or he's having an issue with my mess, I just close it. I have a light here. It's really nice, especially if I switch it on at night. And over here, I have my guitar. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys all my storage space. Introducing. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, I know it looks very scary. It's my Chantel wig. I have to put her on a wig stand. Yeah, because the hair gets unruly. I got this wig stand from this Peranakan shop in Chinatown, and it's an old antique wig stand, right? And it was the last one there and I had to get it. And I love how it matches this copper tray that I have also. I keep all my camera equipment over there, and I also keep a lot of my camera stuff in this dry box. And all my other props are below here. I've got this auntie waist pouch, which I use for, you know, if I need to be a Taifan auntie. And then here are all my other wigs. Crazy, crazy. Clothes for characters. So these are random clothing items that I use for characters. I also have other clothes here. So these are actually blazers that are for characters, which I will not keep inside the clothes for characters box because I don't want the blazers to be awkwardly folded. And then all of these are sort of like shoot or performance sort of outfits. It's not stuff that I would wear to go out for a day in town. Like, I'm not about to be strutting around town just wearing this. But a lot of these are either given to me because, let's say I did a performance or a shoot. I'll give you an example. So this was actually given to me, right? Because I did a music video commercial shoot, and the stylist altered the pants to fit my waist, and so they gave it to me. And I will leave them here because they are not stuff that I will wear with my usual clothes in my everyday wardrobe. Up here, I have more boxes. And how do I access the stuff up there? Ugh. Okay, so I have my step ladder, which I leave here. So over here, right, my interior designer was thinking, should we place cupboards or shelves? But we realized actually it's so much more useful to leave it empty because I instead put out this little stand where I can just place my lights here if I'm done using them. I also keep my step ladder in here. So what are these? As you can tell, they look a little messy. They are actually not as messy as they seem, okay? They're all in proper cases. So these are my very recurring characters because sometimes I play characters in my skits where they are just a one-off character, and so that's when I use the wigs and props below and some of the clothes below. So in this pouch, I have the Auntie Susan shirt, pants, glasses all in here. This pouch is my Chantel character. I'll just need to grab her wig separately if I need to bring her out. Wah! I have this new character called Sabrina. She's up here as well. And some of the newer pouches, because the old pouches are from a fan actually. She gave them to me. Very, very sweet. It has my name on it, you see? I love using stuff that were given to me by viewers and followers. And speaking of viewers and followers, I also have a box here that is filled with cards and fan mail. And see, this is how I just keep back my stepladder. So convenient. And then I close this back. If you watch my old house tour, you will know that I say I don't work much in my study room. I actually end up taking my laptop and sitting outside, just doing work on my living room sofa. And the reason why I do that, I started to realize, is because I don't like cramped spaces. I don't like being in a small room where everything is closed up. So that's why it was really important for me in this new home, right, where my studio is right next to a window. And also, this whole area is actually an open space. Behind the camera is all an open space. And this was originally actually a room, but we knocked it all down. So if you come over here, you can see that I have a temporary divider here. And it's only placed here in case I need some kind of privacy. Like maybe now I'm filming this video, right? And I just wanted to close up this space. And if I don't want to have this blocking my view, if I'm really sitting here and I just want to feel that expanse, then I'll just close up this divider. And the crazy thing is that when we got these dividers, Raf didn't realize that he was going to actually get this grandfather clock from his grandpa. And once we laid everything out, we realized that this is so matchy. It's pretty much similar height, similar shape. It doesn't feel like it's a random divider by the wall. It just looks like it nicely mirrors this grandfather clock. This grandfather clock actually rings every 15 minutes, but we've switched it off for the sake of the video. But speaking of working from my living room, right, I actually still do that sometimes. Like very occasionally, if I just need that change in environment, and I'll actually also sit at my living room couch sometimes. So I'm just going to count that as a little part of this video because it is technically a way in which I stay inspired. So let me show you my living room couch. Yes, so sometimes I will sit here. I'll grab a cushion and I'll just do my work here. I'll probably put a drink here, a snack or something, and I might do a Zoom call over here. I'll just be writing. Actually, I really come here the most when I'm writing because it really does help to be in a different environment when you're writing. So this sofa is from Castlery. It is the Marlowe Boucle sofa. If you saw my previous video that I did with Raf, where we talked about how we have small spaces in our bedroom as well, this is actually the same boucle fabric. I get so many compliments from my friends every time they come into my house and then they see my living room. It's this curved sofa. Actually, what I really like about it is that it comes in all these separate blocks. So you see over here, this is one piece on its own, then over there it's another piece on its own. So you can just adjust the configuration as you wish. So it's like a little jigsaw. And again, I guess it makes me feel creative while I'm sitting here. And so far, it's been great because I have spilled a drink on it before, right? But it cleans off so easily. So the quality is great. If I didn't have a home studio, I think I'll actually be very happy just working here as well. Alright, and that's it. This was my studio tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have this book from Austin Kleon, and I think I mentioned him just now. In one of his books, he said for creatives, right, it's important to keep your tools neat, but your materials messy. And I think I managed to translate that school of thought into this space as well, where I really have all my tools neat. I know where my stationery is at, where my props are at, where my equipment is at, but I leave some space to be messy. Like I have this little board where I can just shift things around and have a completely clean study table where I can throw stuff on. And yeah, so I think this place has been such an inspiring place to work in. I've only been here for a couple months. And I am really excited to create more work out of this space, think of new ideas and write new stories and make new music. And if you're a creative and you're watching this video, I hope this inspires you as well and gives you some tips on how you can maybe organize your workspace in future. And if you have any questions, you can also leave them down below. I would love to answer them. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon in another video. Bye! I can balance on this ball, by the way, I just want to say. You see? I'm really in my circus era.